What up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday. Smile, right? We still here. If you're watching this video, you still breathing. I appreciate you checking in, right? I figure since like several people have either made comments or asked, who is Garet Jax? Why are you a black man with the name Garet? Do you main Jax? All those type of questions and comments, right? I figure I will address why I chose the name Garet Jax. Okay. Um, I'm not really good at telling stories, so I'm just trying to keep this short, sweet. All right, and why I chose this name. First of all, Garet Jax was an absolute badass. All right, I do a whole lot of reading about. I read a lot of fantasy, shapeshifters, druids, stuff like that. Right. Um. Anyway, there was a patrol of hunters who had kidnapped this kid because they found out he had this special ability and they wanted to know exactly, the source of it. Like, is it innate? Were you born with it? Is it something you can teach us? You know what I'm saying? So they figured they could exploit him for his gift. They had him tied and trussed to like a long log. They had him all tied to it. So his feet and his hands were tied to the log. Well, anyway, they were traversing through a forest and they came by a pond, and there was a man by the pond, hooded and cloaked, had a ton of weapons under his cloak, but nobody could tell from the way he was positioned. He was out there fishing, right? But this man had been having dreams that this kid would come through this specific clearing, right? And he would have to be this kid's protector, right? So the guy is like, he's one kid. What are 6 grown adult hunters doing with this one kid? He can't be that big of a threat. They're like, man, your business. This don't have nothing to do with you. This is not your business. He said, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I still want to know why you guys have this kid tied up and there's one of him and there's 6 of y'all. So the guy's like, man, look, if you don't mind your business, you're not going to like what's going to come of this situation. Garet Jax is like, maybe you're right. So he puts his backpack on, walks away, doubles back. It's like, well, I think this is my business, right? Long story short, he managed to kill all 6 hunters. But there was a single one who got away, right? Anyway, look, we're gonna cut this a little short because I'm gonna just tell you the title of the book. You gotta go read it because the book is not really about Garet Jax. He's just my favorite character in the book. But the title of the book is called The Wish Song of Shannara. If the name Shannara sounds familiar to you and you watch the corny show, the show does the book no justice. Okay. Ultimately, the only thing that could kill Garet Jax was a creature that had been summoned from another dimension. Alright. And not only did it kill him, he ended up killing it, which it couldn't be killed by mortal creatures. So how he ended up killing it, he's the weapons master. He literally stood against everything up until that moment. So that's a little history on Garet Jax. That's still like a drop in a bucket on who he really is. But the image that popped up when I Googled Garet Jax, he looks like Fujin with the short hair. So when I start maining Fujin, I'm like, oh man, he look like Garet Jax. I'm gonna roll with Garet Jax. Better watch the movies, cause everybody gonna get this work with Garet Jax now. All right. Anyway, y'all be blessed. It's Friday. Smile. Okay, you still here breathing.